Hey guys, so I figured we'd do something new because it's almost Halloween and I wanted to let it be known that wrestling figures aren't the only things I'll be talking about on this channel. It's not the only interest I have. This is also another one of my interests is horror movies and collecting horror icons from my childhood that scared the shit out of me when I was a child, and I grew up collecting these figures before I started collecting anything, even before wrestling figures. So I figured I'd start off with my all-time favorite, Mr. Michael Myers. Let's take a look. Okay, so as you can see, there's two Michael Myers up here. One is the McFarlane Toys Michael Myers. It came out in, I think it was 1999, and it's that one. And this one I've had since I was a child, along with the Freddy Krueger, the Leatherface, and also the Chucky and the Bride of Chucky releases that they had when I was a child. Well, yeah, maybe elementary school, middle school area, somewhere around in there. Anyway, I've been collecting these that long, and I've been a fan that long. Now this guy right here is the NECA Michael Myers. It's either I think it's the first, maybe. I know that NECA released a box set with him and Dr. Loomis, and then like the little staircase backdrop thing, playset, whatever the hell. I didn't get that, so this one is the single pack Michael Myers, and I just wanted to make a quick comparison on the two figures. We'll start with the McFarlane Michael Myers. Now, like I said, I had this since I was a child. I don't know how I've been able to keep up with the pumpkin, but I don't have the kitchen knife anymore. As you can see, he's missing one. But I remember when I lost it because I freaked out, and I was a child when I lost it because I was a child, and children lose shit. So what I used to do was put I would go find a comb, a black comb, and I would tear one of the bigger prongs off of it, and I would stick it in his hand and pretend I colored it silver, and I would pretend like that was his knife. So if you have this figure, if you find this online and they don't come with a knife, which I've seen a few on eBay that don't have the knife, or the pumpkin rather, but if you find it and you buy it, that's an easy little fix up. Besides, nobody's gonna tell if it's real or not because it's gonna be in their hand and you can paint it. It's easy to paint. So you can see there's a little wear on the nose. It's from this survived the late 90s and the early 2000s, and a few years put up in a box. So that's the figure. Not much of an articulation figure, but it has a swivel in the hand. The arm goes all the way around. The head kind of moves sideways. Doesn't go up and down. Same thing with this hand. Or not. Okay. There's a swivel at the elbow and then in the arm. And then the feet rotate as well. Both of them. There's no rotation in the waist, which I always hated because I was wanting him to. I don't know. I played with these heavy when I was a child, and I would chase. My little cousins would come over with their little Polly Pocket people, and we'd play Michael Myers in their little dollhouse, and it was the best shit ever as a child. But the pumpkin is pretty detailed. I mean, it's hollow on the inside, which is good. I'm glad they just didn't paint the eyes on. It's good for the time period. Um, Not much else you can do with that shit. But and then it comes with a little movie poster that I still have in the back. Um, Now I had to super glue the top up here and up here because it was folding back. Like I said, this thing is old as shit, but it's still in decent condition and it's easy to revive if it screws up. I'm gonna try to do a little paint job on the nose because he's missing some gray. But yeah, that's the McFarlane. Wait, stand him up. Stand up, damn it. That's the McFarlane Michael Myers from the first Halloween movie. Let's take a look at the NECA one. And here he is, the NECA version. Whenever I started collecting figures again, um, in my early 20s, thanks to my wife, by the way, um, she let me know that it's okay to be a nerd and to continue to be myself and not be ashamed of liking all this child shit. And I do, and makes me a better person and a better father for that. So I'd like to thank her. But anyway, let's go to this figure. This is the best Michael Myers, in my opinion, that there is, figure-wise. There's still articulation problems, like the waist doesn't move, and you can't really do anything with the legs either, except for the boots. But you can move his head, and how he does when he's sideways, when he pins that the actually look at the backdrop. When he's doing this in the movie, he turns his head right after he does that and kills her. He turns his head like this, sideways, and just stares at her really weirdly and creepily. Or I don't even know if that's a fucking word, but whatever. So he the arms, there's another swivel in the elbow. I don't know if you can see this. Swivel at the elbow. This side does too. The hands turn, complete circle. The arms go up. I really like the arm articulation because they're not in a set form like the McFarlane one. I keep wanting to say Seth MacFarlane, but we're not talking about Family Guy. But anyway, you move the head, turn it all the way around. It's on a ball joint, and turn it sideways like that iconic pose he does. The boots kind of move from left to right. Nothing too spectacular about that. Now, the knife. I love this knife. I think it's awesome. It's one of my favorite accessories that comes with any of these types of figures, besides the Leatherface chainsaw. But you can see. All right, now the detail is pretty decent, considering how small it is. They have the little 3 points on there, like where the screws go on an actual knife, and then it's painted a dull silver color, and the handle is black with it looks like bronze dots right there for the screws. But I love this knife. I was really happy to get it, and I was lucky enough to find this figure for a decent price on eBay. Because if you look now, most of these figures are way up there in the price range. I'm hoping maybe one day soon NECA will put out an Ultimate Michael Myers like they did with Freddy and Leatherface, and I think they did a Jason. Actually, I think they did 2 Jason figures, the Ultimate horror figures, whatever. But this is my favorite one, and I really like the scale on this guy, because here we'll do a little comparison. See how small the McFarlane one is compared to the NECA one, which is a big difference in scale, which I love, because whenever I would play with this guy when I was a kid, I'd have him kill the wrestlers that I had, and the wrestlers were always taller than him. Kind of pissed me off, but whatever. I was a kid, so I didn't give a shit. But now I do, and I'm glad I got a replacement in this guy. Now, the pumpkin he comes with is also hollow, but it has a little light bulb in the inside of it, and right here you're supposed to be able to push this button and for it to come on, but it doesn't. And I really wish it did. That'd be pretty awesome. I know this was a re-release of whatever figure it was that came with it, and that one actually did light up, but I wish they would have carried it onto this one. It's still cool, but just a little thing I would have liked with this one for the price I paid for it. But I will show you a comparison next to a WWE figure. Okay, so compared to the Toys R Us exclusive Seth Rollins and the basic Renee Young, he's just tall enough so you can make your play pattern believable, and it's awesome. Like I said, I've always wanted a figure like this of him. The only one I had when I was a kid was the McFarlane one, so I highly recommend this figure if you get a chance to get it for a decent price. Go ahead and snatch it up because a lot of people are looking for them and they're hard to find for a decent price. So if you find one, pick it up, keep it forever, do what you gotta do. It's awesome. Highly recommend it. Hopefully NECA will put out a decent one that is it's more articulated. But if you like this review, please leave a comment, hate it, like it, subscribe, share it. I will be putting out more videos like this because of the fact that wrestling figures aren't the only thing that I like or collect. And I will also be doing some Ninja Turtle reviews because I'm a giant Ninja Turtles fan, as well as a lot of nostalgic type figures like maybe Beetlejuice or E.T., stuff like that. But I appreciate it if you would like, share, comment, subscribe, hate, like I just said a minute ago. Sorry for my voice. It's cracky. I think I'm getting a cold. Whatever. Thanks for checking this video out. We'll see you later. Bye.